Hey everybody, welcome back to Baseline Farms. My name is Jade. So today I'm going to share with you how I make my sourdough bread. And it's been about 2 years since I started making bread. I cannot believe it. So it's been a while since I've purchased bread from the market, and I just want to share with you how easy it is to make sourdough. I'm no expert. Okay, so I just started this, like I said, 2 years ago. I purchased the sourdough starter. It was a hydrated package that I purchased from a YouTuber called Whispering Willow Farm. You could purchase it from her store. You have to hydrate it. She gives you steps on how to do it. So I just followed the steps, and now we have our 2-year-old Otis. So I have separated our starter, so we named him. He came with the name. So I have separated our starter into 2 different batches. So this is one batch that I fed last night, and I stuck it in the refrigerator, and I just pulled it out, and now we're going to make bread with it. And I do have another starter in the refrigerator that's already fed, and we'll use him for next week when we want to make bread. So you can just continuously have a supply of starter and just keep it in your refrigerator. In the beginning, I was keeping it out on the counter, and I didn't know what to do because it kept rising. I kept feeding it, I kept discarding it, and I didn't really know what to do with the discard. Then I found out that you could use the discard for everything, which is what you do if you're not going to make bread. You take some of it out, you feed it, and then when it gets all bubbly, that's when you know it's ready to make bread. But then how do you really know, right? So how do you really know? All right, but first, before we start cooking anything, let's just make sure. I've already washed my hands, but I'm just going to rewash them. All right, so how you know if your sourdough starter is ready, you just want to take a little scoop of it, just like that. I'm going to take your water, put it into your water, and so it floats, just like that. Then you're ready to make sourdough bread. Okay, now that you know your sourdough is ready to go, what we're going to do is we're going to start off with, I just have this little scale here that I just purchased from Target, and you're going to tear it off to 0 grams. So right now you can see our sourdough starter, and we're just going to make 1 loaf of bread. The recipe that I got, the recipe for this sourdough bread that I'm making is from another YouTuber called Farmhouse on Boone. I just used her recipe. She uses some butter, flour, salt, honey, and water. And with sourdough, all you really need is the sourdough starter, flour, water, and salt. So this honey and the butter is optional. So those are things that you could just put in. I like the honey because a little bit of sweetness, and the butter, I don't know, gives it a buttery taste. Tastes so delicious. But I have made it without those 2 ingredients. So you could do it either or. So now what we're going to start off is the recipe that I got off the internet from Farmhouse on Boone. That's a 2 loaves. So you could use that recipe for 2 loaves. But what I've done was I cut it back, and now I'm just going to make 1 loaf of bread, and I'm going to share with you how we do that. So first you're going to need 120 grams of starter. So what you do is you put your starter, let me grab a little spatula. There we go. All right, so you want to get your starter, 120 grams. That's done. Now what we're going to do is we're going to add in 1 1/4 cup of water. All right, so what I do is you can add filtered in water. I just have regular tap water, so we're just going to do 1 1/4. And it's not tap water, it's actually well water that we're using. Okay, go for 1 1/4. There you go. All right, so we're gonna do salt, and it calls for 1 tablespoon of salt. but because we have cut back the recipe, we're just going to do half of that. There we go. And then we're going to do 3.5 cups of flour. One, two. So we're going to start off with 3 cups first, and then we'll add in the half a cup if we need to. Okay. Now we're going to add in a little bit of honey, and like I said, this is optional, so you don't have to add honey if you don't want to, but I do like that little bit of sweetness. And then you can add, you don't have to add in butter if you don't have it, but I'm just going to add in a couple little bit of butter. There we go. Not that much. Okay, and then we're going to put it on our mixer right there. Out of the way. Okay. Now we're just going to mix it on low. And last night, you guys, we actually had some rain, so which is a real bummer because I do have some tomatoes out in the garden that I was debating whether or not I was going to harvest them. I just thought it was just going to be a light sprinkle, but it was coming down. We have some puddles outside and everything. All right, so what you want to do is you just want to mix this thoroughly until it's all combined. And that's pretty much it. And what the type of flour that I use is I just buy it from Smart & Final, a big bag. I think it's a 25-pound bag of King Arthur's unbleached organic flour. And so that is what I've been using for bread making. And when I feed my starter, I use all kinds. I'll use wheat if I want to feed them, or regular unbleached flour. But I always use unbleached flour. So that's the type of flour I use to feed my starter. All right. So it's looking pretty good. We're just going to give this a chance to all incorporate. And so I'm going to share with you what it looks like after it's all incorporated together. All right, so the bread is now coming together. So let me show you, or the dough. The dough is now coming together. Do you see how it's not sticking to the sides anymore? So now let's check to see if this is ready. All right, so let me just share with you how to check to see if your dough is ready. So what you want to do is you want to take your dough and you want to kind of stretch it. It's called the window pane test. And if you can stretch it and almost have it see through without it ripping, then you know your dough is ready to go. So this dough is ready to go. So now what I like to do is I like to transfer this dough into another bowl, just in case I want to use this, let me grab a spatula, just in case I want to use this bowl for mixing or using it, to make other things. So I take my dough out just like that, and I stick it into this little wooden, and I'll shape it. So what I'll do is I'll do some stretch and folds. I think that's what they call it. So I'll just do it like that and get into a nice little tight ball. Oh, let me get this. There we go. All right. So what I'll do is I'll just get into a nice little tight ball. Just like that. A nice little rough ball. And then we're just going to set it in there. And we're going to put a little damp towel, which I got these. I'm not even too sure where I got these from. These little things right here. It looks like a little shower cap, but you wet it, and it's cloth. It's like a tea towel, and you can put it right over. It fits right over your bowl. So let me wet this real fast. right, so now that we have it damp, this little cloth will just fit right, I'll show you, fit right over your bowl. Look how nice that is. This is so perfect for sourdough. I mean, you could use these for covering food and things like that, but I thought this is so perfect for sourdough. So now we have it covered, and I was thinking this little these little covers are not that hard to make, and I was thinking I could probably make it because it's just some elastic and a circular fabric. I could probably make that. All right, so there we have it. So now we're just going to let it sit and rise, and it is about, let's see, noon. So we're going to check in about a few hours to see how this does. So now what you want to do is you want to put it in a nice kind of warm place, somewhere where it's not going to get a cool draft or anything like that. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it over by the oven. All right, so while that dough is rising, I thought I'd take you to the garden because last night it rained. You guys, I was not anticipating for it to rain. I saw the forecast and I thought it was just going to be a little bit of rain, but we actually had quite a bit. You see all the petals? So many petals. And I have so many tomatoes that are still growing, and last night I was debating whether or not I was going to pick them, and I didn't because I didn't think it was going to rain. So I'm really bummed out about it. So I hope they're doing okay. Now, we're supposed to have some 70-degree weather coming soon, and hopefully all of the tomatoes will mature by then. But let's go take a look to see how they're doing. Oh my goodness, look at this. Look at that. Oh, this one's kind of blushing a little bit, almost. But yeah, we had quite a bit of rain last night. So these are the tomatoes. They're still looking really good. Look at the dahlia. Oh, do you see that? I've not taken it down yet because look at it. It's just so pretty. And I just love looking at it in the garden, even though we have that powdery mildew on it. But I know that these tomatoes are going to be coming out soon. But look at that, they're so beautiful. So here are all the peppers. Those are doing really good. The cherry tomatoes still have a ton of cherry tomatoes on them. Look at that. Oh my goodness, look at these. So pretty. But I don't know, you guys. I don't know if they're gonna last. I mean, they might, because like I said, we're gonna be having some 70-degree weather soon. We have some San Marzanos right here, but I'm still not ready to give them up. Look at that. Because I didn't really stew a bunch of tomatoes. So these are so cool. These were the, what are they called? Oh my goodness, they're so green. Look at that. These are the sun golds right here. They self-seeded. This one self-seeded itself. Oh, just fell right off. Let's see if it's good. No, it's still good. The skin is a little tough, but it's not too bad. So now over here, this is where we had some broccoli, and I just wanted to come in and peek to see if we had any broccoli coming in over here. And I only see like 3. And over here we had some carrots, and those are coming in really, really well. I hope you see that. I don't know what I was showing you, but we had some carrots right there. And then here we have some, what are these? These are spinach and some peas. And you know, I planted a ton of peas, but I did not put the netting up right away, and I feel like the birds might have eaten quite a few of them. Val, what are you doing? She just wants the grass. Now over here we have some carrots, just sporadic because birds, you guys. Birds were getting into this little area, that garden bed, and was eating all my seeds. But that is what's happening over here. And then you guys, I bought some onion sets. Let me show you. Come on, Val. Little Val. She's so cute. She's so cute. It's so nice. I love it after a rain. Kind of settles the dust a little bit. Makes it so nice. But let me share with you the onion sets that I'm going to be getting now. I have no idea where I'm going to put them, because I feel like I need to take out some of these tomatoes if I want to put them in here. So like this garden bed right here, I could put it on this side right here. The zucchini, I could probably take out that. And then this is the first rain that my little cottage has gotten, and it's done pretty good because we put a nice little roof on the top. I do need to get a handle to make it easier for me to, but I just don't want any handle. I want like a cute little decorative handle. And I do need to finish up painting like just like this little area and stuff. All right, so it stayed pretty dry in here. Look at this, it's so cute, I love it. So here are the onion sets that I got. I have 75 red onion, those what they look like. And we have 75, we have 2 packages of the yellow onion. Because you guys, I planted these last year and they were so good. And it was so easy. So right now is the season, it's the time to be planting some onions. So that is what we're going to be doing. One of our guys' truck broke down, so he towed it over here. And I think John's going to help him fix whatever's wrong with it later on today. But that is so far what is happening in the garden. So we're just going to wait for that dough to rise. And once it has risen, then I'm just going to go ahead and show you how we make the artisan bread. And it is delicious. You are going to love it. And I hope that everyone goes out there and buys some sourdough starter or tries, making bread with some yeast or whatever you can do to try to make your own bread. Oh my goodness, at least one time in your life, you would love it. It is so delicious. All right, so we're just gonna go back inside. I'm gonna clean up my mess, and then I'll share with you how the sourdough or how the dough looks. Hey everybody, so it is the next morning and everyone's still asleep. So our bread did not rise, the sourdough did not rise yesterday for us to bake it. So I stuck them in the fridge because I have to go to work this morning, and that's okay to do. So if you don't have the time to bake your bread, you can stick it in the refrigerator, like the dough, and then when you're ready, you can just pop it out, score it, and then stick it in the oven. So what we're going to do is I'm going to head off to work, and then when I come back, I'm going to go ahead and show you how we score and bake our bread. Hey everybody. All right, so I am home from work. And I just took Otis out of the refrigerator, and so I just wanted to share with you what he looks like. I did take him out of the big wooden bowl. So first of all, I am sorry for the mess. I have not been home at all today, and so this accumulates when I'm not home, these dishes. Hey John. All right, so I took Otis out of the refrigerator.
What's up?
Can you hold that one side so I can take the cloth off of the...
My hands are dirty. I gotta wash my hands.
Oh, okay. So, this is what Otis looks like. Gotta cover up the dishes. This is what Otis looks like right there. Now, I took him out of the wooden bowl because the wooden bowl was not going to fit in the refrigerator. And so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to start the oven at 425. I'm going to go get changed out of my uniform. Let's see, I'm going to start 425. And then I'm going to put the Dutch oven, this little one, into the oven and let it heat up. And then from there, I'll show you what happens after that. All right, so let me just go get changed.
Peace.
All right, so now that I've changed and we're ready to make some bread. So I did put the Dutch ovens into the oven and let them preheat. So let me show you what the bread looks like. All right, so what we're gonna do is we're just gonna get them out of here. It's so cold still. All right, and then, so normally what I'll do is I'll just kind of fold it up a little bit to make a nice, tight, round ball. Put a little flour down. And when I put it in the refrigerator, what I like to do is I like to put 2 towels over the top of it to keep them nice and moist.
So then that's what I do, is I try to make it into a nice, tight little round ball. Like I said, I'm no expert, but hey, my bread turns out pretty good. Okay, just like that. And then we're gonna get our scorer right here. And we're just gonna go ahead and create a little design. So I'm just gonna make a little cut right in here. And then we're gonna do some wheat. And I know you can get really creative with your designs, but I haven't gotten there yet. So that's what it looks like, just like that. And now I'm gonna go ahead and get the Dutch oven, and I'll show you what the next step is. What I should have done before I scored it was I should have placed them on some parchment paper. So let's go ahead and do that real fast before we get the Dutch oven out. And this little spatula has come in handy. What you do is just scoop it up, and then we're gonna put them right down onto the parchment paper. Now I'm gonna grab the Dutch oven. Okay. And then you wanna take your sourdough and place it right into the Dutch oven. And then you want to place a little bit of water underneath. You could put ice cubes, but what I do is I just put a little bit of water, just like that, underneath the parchment paper. And then I'm going to put this back on top, just like that. And then we're going to put it back into the oven for 25 minutes. All right, so there it is. I just pulled it out of the oven. It's nice and hot, so when you flip it over and you tap it, it's supposed to have that hollow sound. So that is how it looks. Now I totally forgot to show you. So the first time when I put it into the oven, I set the timer for 25 minutes at 425. And then I wait for the timer to go off. I take the lid off. I put the Dutch oven back into the oven for another 25 minutes. And then that's pretty much it. And I just pull it right out. So that is baking bread. So hopefully you enjoyed this video, and hopefully you get some sourdough starter and make your own bread or yeast or whatever. Hopefully you get to try this out one time. All right, so take care, be safe. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.